My goal is to curl my hair down to my ass, and in order to do that, I'm going to try something out of the box, which is the Indigenous Strandz method of using these perm rods to retain length. And I'm going to insert all the details of that at the end of this video. If you want to check it out, I will link directly to her video and also input the video in here. But my goal is to do this because I've always wanted long hair, and the most I've ever grown it out to was like up to here, and I really want it longer. And everything I've tried hasn't worked. So this is something that's unconventional and out of the box, and I want to see if it'll work. So this is pretty much a series. This is part 1. I'm going to be doing this for 6 months straight, just like Indigenous Strandz did. And it's January 20th, so I am going to be just starting it from here and going all the way until June, the summertime. So this is all the hair I have in now. All the twists I have in my hair now, and I am keeping up with moisturizing the ends. This is just a sample right now. I've done this before in the past, and right now I'm just being a lot more strict with the method. As you can see, I'm using satin rollers on the end. It's not the actual end paper she did use. I also used to use the satin rollers that were softer rather than these hard rollers, but I just said, you know what, I did get results that way, and I'll insert some pictures and show you guys. But now I want to be even more strict with myself and really do it her way with the end papers and everything. So I did just wash my hair, styled it, and put these in, and I'm going to be starting this whole process the end of February, but still doing it throughout. And we'll see how things go. So stick along for the ride and come and watch me retain length with this unconventional method that Indigenous Strandz shared with us. And I'm so grateful that she did, along with everything else that she did to just show us that we can grow long hair. So that is my goal. So let's see how things go. Thanks for watching.
So these are the primary products I'm using as of now. I'm using them for over a year. I do like the African Pride Moisture Miracle line, and that styling gel helps to freeze my ends. It's similar to what flaxseed would do, in this case that Indigenous Strand uses a lot. And then the smaller bottle underneath it, that's what I usually have for shea butter. I love shea butter on my hair. It's just I ran out, I need to get some more. That's olive oil in front of the Camille Rose bottle. It's great, it's a detangler for me. And I just put my own Ayurvedic oil in that Camille Rose bottle. And then the Curly Curl Cream by Talia Wajid, I use that for my mini twists. And this is what I use to blow dry my hair before I put it into the twists. So this is the classic perm rod that Indigenous Strand uses, but I did use these in the beginning, these satin rollers, just because I liked how comfy they were, but they are more bulky, and I just want to stick to what Indigenous Strandz has done.
I currently have 20 twists in my hair right now. Usually I have more. Last time I had 47. And what I did was I had these satin rollers, and I would put 3 or 4 on a single roller. But with Indigenous Strandz, she does only 1 twist on 1 roller. So we're getting strict with it.
So as you can see, I actually started this challenge in September, and I followed this for the most part. I really did follow this diligently, and that's why I saw some results already. And the only thing is I did trim my hair during that time, and I got it trimmed in that picture where I was wearing the white dress in the beginning, and it is very helpful. I will continue with my trim, and I'm just starting this challenge up again, basically doing the same thing. So I'm just measuring on hair that I just have moisturized after washing it and putting it in the twists. I just undid this one and re-moisturized it. So in the front, I get to the first line. On the side, I get to the third line on this measuring shirt, and it's not the best. I just created it myself. That's why it looks all over the place, and I used it for something else before. That's why there's all this writing on it. But it's pretty simple to make on your own, so I said, why not just use this one? So that's the third line, and then the back here is going to the fourth line. And then bringing that back piece behind me, I'm at the 9th line. And I'm just twisting it up here and then really showing you how I put it on the roller. If I had the end papers that Indigenous Strand recommended, or just end papers in general that she recommended, it would be easier to wrap and smoother, a little less bulk from that. But it works well. This is my night routine. I'm just getting this satin scarf, putting my head down, piling it up at the top of my head. And this is also what I would do if I was just at home relaxing. Sometimes I would take off the satin scarf, but majority of the time I would have it on. And then it can be a little annoying at first getting used to tying it, but then you just get better and better over time. And once I tie this, I just put a hat on top. Now, if I was working, because sometimes I have to be on Zoom, I wouldn't have the rollers at the top of my head like this. I would have it at the bottom, almost like a bun. That way it's a little less, I don't want to say loud, but you know, I'm still in that kind of area where I just want to keep it safe. I have to play it safe. I don't want to turn any heads too much. So that's why this is fine at home, but then for work, I bring it down into a bun. And of course, this looks crazy. I wouldn't wear this outside. But I just love how fun it is in the house. And it's comfortable to sleep in, very comfortable. But with anything, there are pros and cons, but there are definitely more pros here than cons for me personally. It did help me with the ultimate length retention. I was able to protect my hair from the elements. I did risk getting lazy with my hair, but I did stay on top of moisturizing it just because of how easy and low maintenance it is. It definitely will get boring because you're doing this same style repeatedly, but that consistency is what helps. And those perm rods can be a little irritating on the scalp too. But once I saw the results that I was getting, like, excuse me, look at this ponytail. It has never looked this full and this flowy, so it was totally worth it for me. And I felt like I was embracing my culture too and standing out by wearing the head wrap, but in a way that made me feel good. I didn't need a weave or braids or any type of extension. Not that those are bad, but it made me feel like I can do all these things and still get results. And let's see if this is the key to my missing length retention. Let's see what Indigenous Strandz has to say.
Perm rock on these twists, and it's working perfectly. Now, I have not worn head wraps consecutively in a long time, because the time that I did wear head wraps, I wore them for about 6 months straight, no lie. 6 months I wore head wraps, and I had perm rods at the ends of all of my twists, and I just wore my hair up. And that is another thing that contributes to so much growth in my hair, because my hair was up, I wasn't doing anything to it, and my ends were tucked away. Now, this is the key part. The perm rods keep your hair tucked away. It keeps your hair tucked away, so that way when you're wearing your head wrap, your ends are not rubbing against each other. It's not causing friction, and they're not snagging on each other, so they're not breaking. So this is a key point of wearing the perm rods on the ends of your hair. Crazy. Now, the one thing that you don't want to do, you don't want to wear these head wraps on a daily basis but neglect your hair underneath. This is just a way to protect your hair and as a protective hairstyle. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to put your hair into the bonnet. I'm going to pull the bonnet over half of my hair. Your hair magically stays on the top of your head. Depending on how long your hair is going to depend how big it is, but the perm rods actually help give you some height and give you some width. Wear the style for a week, 2 weeks, every other week, but it is such a good way to retain a lot of length.